What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader. Welcome back to the channel. We've got a loose graded vintage Star Wars action figure market update for you. Lots of interesting items. We've got UKG, CAS, AFA, Last 17, Lili Ledy, Spanish figures. We've got it all. And, actually, there were some really fantastic deals in this batch. There were some that sold a little high to me, but in general, there were some incredible deals. I mean, under sub $100, $150 for very rare foreign variants. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dig right in. The first one is an AFA 80 Brown Snake Yoda. This one sold in an auction, only one bid on March 29th, but it sold for $200 plus $5 shipping. And, quite honestly, I think that price is pretty fair. I see them very regularly sell in high grade condition, but ungraded on Facebook. And, I think that for $200 for an AFA 80 with the brown snake, that seems like a pretty good deal to me. AFA 85s can set you back as high as $300. So I think this one was appropriately discounted. It had the brand new case style. I'm assuming that none of these pegs have broken off. Let's see here. It looks like it's okay. It looks like it's okay. The figure is kind of levitating. Yoda's using his power of the Force. It looks like potentially the brackets were too tight on that one. So AFA's got that issue. I don't know what it is with them, but they just cannot seem to get lately with their loose graded figures. They're just slapping them together, trying to get them out the door so they don't have to loose grade any more figures for a while. I certainly had a problem with my R5D4 that came back, and I was not happy about the splits that he was doing, but anyway, it is what it is, but this one did sell for $200, $5 shipping. Now we're gonna dig into the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man, I've gotten to know. I have an item coming from him very soon that I can't wait to show you, and it's a Spanish figure, and it's hot. But he had some Spanish figures and some Lili Ledys that were fantastic deals at auction. And this is that UKG 85% removable hood. Lili Ledy Jawa. This is a very, very expensive figure usually. He had the starting bid at 1,200 pounds, which is 1,483 US dollars, and only one bid. Now, I've seen these figures sell for about this price ungraded. And so to get a UKG 85% brand new case style for a removable hood Lili Ledy, and it says very clearly there, L stamp blaster. This was I know that's expensive figure, folks, but this was a fantastic deal. This is one of the few holy grails that I don't have from the Lili Ledy line, and I would love to have it, but the timing was not meant to be, Shelly. This is a very, very nice figure for that price. I mean, AFA 85s will set you back $2,300 to $2,500. So to get a UKG 85% for about $1,500, that was a bargain. Absolute bargain of a price. And the prices continue to be good. Here was a burgundy cape Lili Ledy squid head. It was only a UKG 75%, but it sold for 385 pounds, which is 476 US dollars. They can often, again, sell for that price ungraded on Facebook. So this was another fantastic deal. This one had the wide handle Lili Ledy Bespin blaster. Beautiful figure. And that's the harder to find burgundy cape squid head. So really great deal on that one as well. This was a UKG 80% Lili Ledy. This is the Zuckuss figure, and this has got kind of that dark red nose that he's known for. A little bit more of a matte finish to the silver torso portion, the paint on that, which is common. It's a little bit more brighter silver with the Hong Kongs and the no COOs. But anyway, this no COO Lili Ledy Zuckuss was graded UKG 80%, brand new case style. That one sold for 93 pounds. That's 115 US dollars. I mean, again, this is what they sell for ungraded on Facebook. And to get it graded UKG 80% for that price was a bargain of a price. That's a really good deal on that one. This is probably, of all the Lili Ledys in this batch, this is easily the rarest. It was only a UKG 65%, but this is the Returno Lili Ledy Han Solo Bespin. And the difference between the Returno and the Regresso is that he has a white belt buckle paint application on the back. The later version, the Regresso, does not have that white belt buckle on the back. Now, again, it was only UKG 65%, but you can see their rear belt buckle. And and it also comes with a different blaster. It comes with the DL44 blaster for the Returno Lili Ledy Han Solo Bespin, which is also the same case for the Returno Luke Bespin. They come with this DL44 blaster instead of the Bespin blaster that they're known for with the Regresso version, which is the later version. So this is a very, very rare figure. I've seen them ungraded on Facebook in some of the Lili Ledy focus groups sell for $600 plus. So to get this one for 310 pounds, which is $383, again, it's a low grade, so I understand the price a little bit, but I would have paid probably up to $500 US for this all day long. So this was a great buy, a really, really good buy on a very, very tough to find early Returno variant for the Han Solo Bespin figure. Great buy on that one. Next up, we've got some POC and PBP. This is the Spanish POC Imperial Commander, graded UKG 80%. And this one sold for 71 pounds, which is $88 US. This is the early Spanish figure, the POC. And it's got a Hong Kong COO, which is common for the early Spanish figures. And it's a UKG 80% again, so you can see they're made in Hong Kong. But to get that one for sub $100, that's another really good buy there. And it wasn't perfect. I think, to me, it's overgraded. You can see a lot of paint wear on the visor, which is a common problem with these POC Imperial Commanders. That's the first thing I always look at is the paint on the visor. It just wipes off very, very easily. This one's just, it's got some issues. I think this is more like a 75 at best, personally. But still, it's sub $100 for an early Spanish figure. Here's the later no COO Spanish PBP figure. So this was after the PBP factory merged with the POC factory. They started manufacturing their own parts and then assembling and painting them in the Spanish factory. So this is the later version. This one only sold for 57 pounds, and that's 71 US. So there were some great buys in this auction. Really, really good deals. Again, it's not perfect. It might be a little bit overgraded. It probably is like a 75. But with AFA, it'd probably be a 75. But, again, you're paying sub $100 for early Spanish figures or the later Spanish figure. Here's the red Snaggletooth PBP. This was graded UKG 80%. This is a pretty common figure, and I think this was appropriately graded. You can see a little bit of paint overspray on the hands there, or some paint rub on the hands. So again, 80%, it's iffy. It might be a little high, but still, that one sold for 67 pounds, which is $82 US. So very, very good deals if you can live with some of the common defects that Spanish figures are known for. They have paint overspray. The paint is not very good. It doesn't stay on the figure very well. They have weak welds. They can fall apart in your hand. There's a lot of flaws with these Spanish figures. So it's tough to get high grade ones, but the PBP Red Snaggletooth, these came on U.S. card backs that were made in Spain. All of the Cantina creatures were Spanish PBPs for some of the card backs, usually like 77 backs, somewhere in there. And it'll say made in Spain on the lower left-hand corner on the back of the card back. It's got kind of a matte finish on the back of the card. So this is not hard to find. But still, $82 US is a good buy on that. This was a little tougher to find. This is the PBP Hard Torso Hoth Snowtrooper. That one was graded UKG 80%. That one sold for 80 pounds as well, $100 US. Another really, really good deal on the later Spanish figure. There is also a POC with the Hong Kong COO. He also had a UKG 90% Luke Jedi. That one sold for 190 pounds, which is $235 US. This was the no COO with the green saber. Now, I know this is a 90%, so it's not apples to apples, right? 90%, but, that sold for $234. I'd much rather have two Spanish figures graded kind of UKG 80% versus a much more common figure that's easy to find, like this Luke Jedi. But that's my personal opinion. You can get two early Spanish figures, rare foreign variants, versus a much more common Luke Jedi for the same price. Again, it's higher grade, so it's not apples to apples, and you're kind of comparing. It's like a wine, if you will. Not that I drink wine anymore, but there are expensive bottles of wine that cost $200, or you can get two really nice bottles for $100 each. So it just comes down to what you're looking for your collection. But certainly it's high grade. Certainly it's a beautiful figure. But to me, I'd much rather have the Spanish figures at those auction prices. Just absolutely good deals there. This was another one I really wanted to bid on, but I held back because I don't have any money. This was a baggie of Luke Hoth. This was graded UKG 80%. Really nice baggie there with the kind of deluxe case style that UKG is known for. I love this one. This was gorgeous. That one sold for 155 pounds. I was expecting kind of $300 US for this. It sold for 191 US. So I had a snipe set up, and I was like, "What are you doing, John?" What are you doing? You going to put it on PayPal credit? You don't have any money, so don't bid on it. So I didn't bid on it, even though I wanted to, and I thought that was a really great price, 191 US dollars, even after the global shipping program. That's a really good buy. Next up was another mail away. This is the Emperor mail away, graded uncirculated 80%. That sold for $227.50 plus $17 shipping. Obviously, what held it back was the box. The box condition had some damage there, and I think I might have had this one in my what to buy video. I can't remember. I said it would probably sell 200 to 225, and I was kind of in line there, I think. Next up was a CAS 85 Plus Admiral Akbar Molded Hands Taiwan. That one sold for $117.50 plus $10 shipping. Another really good buy there for, the Taiwan, it seems to be the most common. This one had the dark beige torso. There's also a light beige torso. There's a cream torso. There's so many different variations. There's also a Lili Ledy for the Admiral Akbar. So lots of cool variations for him. But that was a pretty good buy there as well. Next up, we got to talk about these. These were all at auction. They were all AFA 90s, and the prices were unbelievable. This was a standard Hong Kong Power Droid, but it was graded AFA 90 with an archival case. That sold for $871 in an auction. 29 bids, $871. That is an incredible price for, I know it's a high grade, and it's tough to get that for a Power Droid. It just, usually there's lots of wear on the feet. Very, very tough to get that in a high grade like that. And there's connoisseur collectors out there, right? They don't want the $100 bottle of wine. They want the $500 bottle of wine. Well, in this case, they paid $871 for a loose graded Power Droid, and it's a pretty incredible figure, don't get me wrong, but I would be nowhere close to that price. I'd probably be half that price at best for that, but congratulations. It's a beautiful figure. I'm not trying to take anything away from it, but he had several other 90s. This was an AFA 90 Red Eye FX7 medical droid. I thought this price was actually pretty fair, $321. I think that price was pretty good there. And then he also had an AFA 90 Weequay that sold for $228.50. Again, very hard to get AFA 90s. That's just the fact. AFA really grades figures much more harshly than UKG or CAS does. So when an AFA 90 pops up, especially at auction, there's going to be some bidding action. But I think these two were actually pretty good prices. But this price was just jaw-dropping. I can't believe someone paid $871 for that. Next up was an AFA 80 Plus A-Wing pilot, some last 17 for you, archival case. That sold for 270 pounds, which is $333 US plus shipping. Probably fair. They can go for that ungraded sometimes, so I think that's probably a good deal. AFA 80 Plus last 17 Luke Skywalker in his indoor battle poncho. That sold for $370 plus $19 shipping. This was a buy it now situation. I've seen AFA 80 pluses sell as low as $280. So I think if you're patient and wait for an auction, you probably could have got a little better deal, but still, it's a last 17 Luke high grade. I'm not gonna bag you on buying that. That's a pretty nice looking figure. The next two though, wow. This was a last 17 R2-D2 pop-up saber, graded uncirculated 85. Please note that the label the label on R2 looks a little bit yellow to me. Maybe it's just me, but it was an uncirculated 85. So somebody took this off a beat up card back when AFA was still doing uncirculated grading for loose figures, and it sold for $2,000. $2,000 US. That's a big number. I would pay nowhere near that price. I think in an auction this probably goes $1,500 max, but again, it's nice. I'm not trying to say it's not nice, but that sticker does look yellow to me. Personal opinion on that. And then another pop-up saber. This is the droids version of R2-D2. This was an AFA 80 Plus brand new case style. That one sold for $1,300. That's probably a little closer to market. I have seen an AFA 85 that sold on Facebook in one of the groups for about $1,300. So this is about the same price, one notch lower in grading. Not going to dog you on that one, but to me, there were some really, really good deals in this auction batch. There were some really good deals on those Ledys and especially the Spanish figures. So it just seems like, it just depends on what people are looking for, I guess. But some really good buys overall. Some also on the upper end that really surprised me as well. But that's all I really had for this video. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll be back soon.